They'll tell you that success comes from talent. They'll preach about motivation, luck, and inspiration. But they'll never tell you the truth that separates ordinary men from the powerful few. Because the truth is dark, uncomfortable, silent. It doesn't scream or shine. It hides in the shadows, forged in isolation and pain. That truth is discipline. Not the discipline you read about in self-help books. The soft, polished version meant to make you feel inspired for a few hours. I'm talking about dark discipline, the kind that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't seek applause, and doesn't care about motivation. Dark discipline is the weapon of high-value men who've learned to tame the chaos inside their own minds. While the world chases dopamine and validation, these men are sharpening their focus like a blade. They rise before the sun, not because they're inspired, but because their standards leave them no other choice. Dark discipline isn't about routine, it's about domination. Not over others, but over yourself. Over your impulses, your distractions, your fears. It's about cutting off the part of you that craves comfort and replacing it with purpose. Every great man, every legend, every conqueror, every mind that reshaped the world carried this same darkness. They weren't guided by emotion. They were guided by control. They understood something most men never will, that discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. The freedom to act when others freeze. The freedom to choose what's right over what's easy. The freedom to stay calm when chaos erupts. High-value men don't chase success, they become it. Every decision they make is cold, calculated, intentional. They don't depend on fleeting bursts of motivation. They are built on consistency, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Because pain is the crucible where dark discipline is born. And when you endure it long enough, something inside you changes. You stop fearing failure. You stop craving praise. You stop caring about who's watching. You become dangerous, not because you hurt others, but because nothing can hurt you anymore. This is dark discipline. The quiet, relentless power behind every man who refuses to break. And if you master it, the world will have no choice but to bow to your control. Control. That's the word weak men fear the most. Not control over others. That's easy. But control over themselves. Because it takes something far more brutal than motivation to master your mind. It takes the death of comfort, the burial of weakness, the slow, cold rebirth of will. Every man wants power, but few are willing to pay its price. Silence, loneliness, restraint. The ruthless mindset doesn't seek pleasure, it starves it. It doesn't chase validation, it rejects it. It doesn't ask for permission, it creates its own rules. You see, when you stop reacting to every emotion, every distraction, every insult, you become something terrifying. Because now, no one can pull your strings, no one can provoke you, no one can break you. That's when control becomes your greatest weapon. It's not about arrogance, it's not about dominance, it's about being unshakable when everyone else crumbles. In a world built on manipulation, the man who controls himself is the man who controls everything. People think power means shouting louder, fighting harder, or winning arguments. They're wrong. Power means remaining calm when chaos tries to own you. It's the ability to walk away when your ego begs you to stay. It's saying nothing and letting silence do the damage. This is the essence of dark discipline. To do what must be done even when every part of you screams not to. To move forward when your body aches. To stay still when your emotions burn. To command yourself like a soldier obeying orders. No questions, no hesitation. The ruthless mind isn't emotionless. It's in command of emotion. It feels anger, fear, and pain. But it doesn't kneel to them. It channels them, refines them, uses them as fuel. Every time you resist the urge to quit, to lash out, to react, you forge control. Every time you stay calm when others lose their minds, you sharpen it. And every time you act with discipline, even in darkness, you become untouchable. High-value men are not born with control. They build it, brick by brick, battle by battle, mistake by mistake. They know that control isn't about suppression, it's about direction. They turn chaos into energy, and energy into results. Visual, dawn breaks. The man stands on a rooftop, arms crossed, city lights fading as the sun rises behind him. The ruthless mindset is simple. You don't react, you respond. You don't speak, you observe. You don't chase, you attract. And when you can control your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits, you control your future. That is the power most men will never taste, because they are too addicted to comfort to embrace control. But the few who do, the few who dare to face their demons and remain unbroken, they rise above everyone else. They don't follow trends, they don't play by rules, they set the rules. Because the man who masters himself no longer needs to master anyone else. He already rules everything. Emotion. It's the invisible chain that binds most men to weakness. It whispers in your ear, react, defend, prove them wrong, and every time you obey, you lose. The greatest trap ever built wasn't made of steel or stone. It was built from feelings, anger, jealousy, fear, pride. All of them designed to pull you away from logic. Because the moment you let emotion steer the wheel, you've already lost control. That's why the truly powerful don't seek emotional balance. They seek emotional death. Not to become heartless, but to become limitless. When you silence emotion, you silence manipulation. No one can bait you, control you, or steer you. You become unreadable, unpredictable. A mystery that terrifies those who rely on reaction. The world is built to control you through emotion. Politics feed your anger. Media feeds your fear. Social media feeds your envy. People feed your ego. And as long as you feed back, as long as you feel on command, you're not in control. You're a puppet. But when emotion dies, power is born. Dark discipline means mastering this. Feeling emotion, but refusing to obey it. You still feel pain, but you don't let it stop you. You still feel anger, but you turn it into focus. You still feel fear, but you walk through it anyway. The high-value man doesn't suppress emotion, he commands it. He treats every feeling as a soldier, obedient, controlled, useful only when ordered. Every time you react impulsively, you hand your power away. But every time you pause, every time you breathe and choose, you reclaim it. That pause, that silent second between emotion and action, that's where true strength lives. The death of emotion doesn't make you cold, it makes you clear. Your decisions sharpen, your words hit harder, your presence becomes magnetic. Because people trust emotion, but they fear control. And in a world of noise, the man who feels nothing becomes unstoppable. When emotion dies, a new form of power is born, one built not on impulse, but intention. Not on hope, but calculation. You no longer chase validation, you calculate it. You no longer argue, you observe. You no longer react, you execute. That's why high-value men don't fear being misunderstood. They live above emotion, while everyone else drowns in it. They know that to rise above the world, you must first rise above yourself. The moment you master your emotions, you master perception. And when you master perception, you master reality itself. Emotion is a storm. Most men drown in it. But a few learn to walk on the waves. Those few rule the world. Every man wants to be powerful. But only a few understand what power really is. It isn't loud. It isn't flashy. It isn't built from luxury, fame, or applause. Real power is control. And the weapon that creates it, the one that separates men who rise from men who fade, is discipline. High-value men are forged in silence. While others sleep, they move. While others talk, they execute. While others feel, they decide. Their lives are not governed by motivation, because motivation is unstable. It burns bright, then dies fast. Discipline, however, is the fire that never goes out. They know that consistency is more powerful than emotion, and that doing what must be done, even when no one notices, is the mark of true greatness. Visual. Flashes of routine, push-ups in the dark, cold showers, books open under candlelight, phone on silent. High-value men don't wait for energy. They create it. They don't seek comfort. They destroy it. They don't need external validation, because their value comes from within. The world calls them mysterious, but that mystery is simply focus. Focus that's too rare for ordinary minds to understand. Every move they make is strategic. Every word is measured. Every decision, intentional. They play life like chess, not checkers. They don't rush their next move. They watch, they plan, they strike. And that's their secret weapon, dark discipline. It's the quiet force behind success, the invisible hand that keeps them steady when others fall apart. The inner command that says, I don't need to feel ready, I just need to move. High-value men don't measure time by hours or days. They measure it by progress. They are obsessed with precision, not perfection. They fail fast, learn faster, and never repeat the same mistake twice. Because control over yourself is control over your destiny. And that's what makes them untouchable. The secret weapon of the high-value man is not charm, not wealth, not luck. It's his discipline in the shadows. His ability to keep moving when no one believes in him. His power to stay silent when others beg for attention. That's what makes him dangerous. That's what makes him desirable. That's what makes him different. Because while the world sleeps, the disciplined few build empires. Unstoppable. That's the word they use for men who refuse to break. But here's the truth. No one is born unstoppable. You become unstoppable by following a dark code, a code that most will never understand, a code built not on motivation, but on mastery, not on comfort, but on sacrifice, not on emotion, but on discipline. This is the code. You move even when it hurts. You act even when no one claps. You show up when everyone else gives up. You keep walking, even through fire, because pain isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Discomfort isn't a curse, it's a weapon. And when you stop avoiding both, you stop being fragile. You start being free. Dark discipline means you no longer need permission to rise. You don't wait for approval or applause or understanding. You move because your mind commands it. You fight because your vision demands it. Every day the world will whisper, rest, slow down, take it easy. But the dark code whispers something louder. Earn it. That's what makes you unstoppable, not talent, not luck, but obedience to your purpose. The dark code doesn't promise happiness. It promises power. It doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger. You'll lose people. You'll outgrow places. You'll walk alone. But that's the price of becoming limitless. And once you've tasted that, once you've felt that calm control burning inside, you'll never go back to weakness again. Because discipline isn't just a habit. It's your armor. It shields you from chaos, protects you from distraction, and hardens your will. When you wear it every day, you stop chasing success. Success begins to chase you. So remember this. Your mind is your kingdom. Your habits are your soldiers. And your discipline is your crown. You are not like them. You don't need to be. You are built for more. Subscribe The Dark Code.